This film will show you how you can save time and energy with the Bernholz tire changer. A jack is useful when mounting or demounting tires, as the wheel can be raised and lowered easily and safely. There must be 50 mm clearance between the jack and the machine. For safety reasons, to prevent slipping, place a ball of crumpled paper or a cleaning rag on the jack plate. In addition, a safety stand should be placed underneath to prevent the tractor rolling away. A wedge can also be placed under a standing wheel. It must be possible to spin the raised wheel by hand. By inserting the pegs in different holes, the arms of the tire changer can easily be adjusted from a width of 0 to 1,20 m to fit the wheel being mounted. When pushing back the bead, one arm is placed against the rim and the other arm is placed at an angle or inversely on the bead. Mounting wide tubeless tires. Deflate the tire. Push back the tire beads on the left and right. On the 3-level drop center rim, the bead will be pressed in as far as the 3rd level of the rim. Because the bead is liable to spring back out, a clamp is fastened onto the rim. Now the wheel is turned 45 degrees and the bead drops onto the 3rd level of the rim. The released tire is loose at the bottom. The tire bead is smeared 1/3 of the way round with tire grease. Using the 45 cm long tire lever provided, the bottom of the outer bead can effortlessly be pried off 1/3 of the way round. With one of tire levers held in place by pressing your hip against it, both hands are free for the second tire lever. Now the wheel is turned 90 degrees and the tire therefore falls off the rim. The wheel is now released. The tire is standing on the ground and is no longer in contact with the wheel rim. The bead and rim flange are greased. If the bottom of the tire is tilted inward, it is simply pulled forward and released. Removing the tire inner shoulder. The tire changer is set up by inserting the pegs in the appropriate holes. These settings are the same for all sizes of tire. In the film, the left tire is being removed. The removal shoe is slid onto the right-hand mounting head. With the round end of the tire lever, the loose tire bead is pulled backwards and the tire lever wedged under the mounting head. A telescopic tube will be placed on the outer arm of the tire changer and braced against the rim. A stabilizing chain is attached to the rim with a claw or hook using the existing wheel holes. The tire changer is pushed from the front on the slant and the stabilizing chain attached to the arm. The standing tire is then pried off the rim flange. The pressing action is applied for as long as the bead slides. If the bead stops sliding, raise the tractor and repeat the pressing action. If the tire still does not slide off, put a clamp in place, open the tire changer, turn the wheel a little further and repeat the pressing action. The tire is now demounted. Mounting repaired or new tires. The tire is placed on the rim on the slant, the wheel is lowered. The inner bead and the rim flange are greased. The wheel is lowered, the tire is tilted over the rim, the wheel is raised, The tire is mounted 90 to 100% on its own by its own weight. If the tire is not mounted completely, help it along with the tire lever. The raised tire is held in place by placing a clamp in the 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock position. The wheel is turned 45 degrees and the tire is thereby inserted at the top into the drop center of the rim. The tire changer presses the tire bead fully into the drop center. The tire can therefore be mounted completely. Of course, it is then easy to roll the bead over the rim using the round side of the tire lever. The tire is now mounted. The wheel is lowered so that the beads are seated correctly in the rim. The tire can now be inflated. Here we see the mounting and demounting of a tube tire, sizes from 10 to 28 inches. The jack is safely placed underneath once again, the plate of the jack again being positioned with a 5 centimeters gap and a ball of crumpled paper used to prevent slipping. The tire changer is lowered to the middle of the wheel. Afterwards, the air is let out of the inner tube. Now the beads are pressed on the right and left without causing any damage to them. The loosened tire is greased at the bottom and then easily pried off a third of the way round using the tire lever. The wheel is turned 90 degrees. With a little jiggling, the outer bead of the tire falls off the rim. Pull the inner tube out of the tire from the bottom. If the inner tube gets stuck above the tire, lower the tractor wheel. Doing this will release the part of the tube trapped by the tire bead. The rest of the tube can then easily be pulled out. Removing the second shoulder. Grease the tire and rim. The settings of the tire changer are done in the same way as for the removal of wide tires. So that the inner tube is not twisted, take hold of the inner tube at the top, let it hang, and pay attention to the valve position. The valve is screwed from the outside. If the valve is inside, the valve stop is pushed through the valve hole and screwed onto the valve. After that, the wheel is turned so that the inner tube can easily be placed from the top inside the tire. Now the tire bead is greased and the clamp is placed in the 3 o'clock or the 9 o'clock position. Turn the tire, press the outer bead with the tire changer or tire lever. This process is very simple and easy. Finally, the wheel is lowered, centered and filled with air. And you're ready to go again. The tire mounting system can also be used on wheels delivered alone. The star handling device can be held in various ways. The wheel changing cart can be fitted with carrying rollers from 400 to 1000 millimeters long. The handling devices allow the wheel to be raised, rolled and turned with the crank handle. The cart and shaft assembly device can be used for all cart and shafts on the market.